guys, what's up? Producer and engineer Alex Scott here with Consordini.com, and I have a really cool new piece of studio gear that I would love for you guys to check out. I want to tell you a little bit about it. It is the TC Electronic TC2290DT. Now, this is a really, really cool unit and a really innovative concept altogether that I really hope TC Electronic explores in the future. Basically, what it is a hardware-controlled recreation of a classic TC delay unit from the 1980s. The original TC Electronic 2290 was a rack-mounted delay effects processor that was mainly used by guitarists in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. Guys like The Edge, Joe Satriani, John Petrucci, all had a 2290 in their racks. It's a really legendary piece of equipment, especially for guitarists. What's really unique about it is that it is not just an analog or digital delay, it's what we call a ducking delay. So basically, there is a dynamics controller that's integrated into the circuit with the delay that causes the delay to duck underneath your signal when you're playing. So the delay gets nice and quiet, but then when you stop playing, the delay rises in to kind of be at the normal volume you would expect a delay to. This is really, really useful for guitar players because when you're taking like a shredding guitar solo, it can sometimes really muddy things up if you have a delay running the whole time, right? You have those echoes that constantly keep going and don't stop and can really get in the way of what you're playing. Well, the brilliance of the 2290 is that it ducks that delay down while you're playing, and then once you stop, the delay raises back in. So this particular unit, the 2290DT, this new one here, it's not actually an analog device. Obviously, it's not a rack-mounted device. But what TC has done is taken the exact circuit of the original 2290 and implemented it as a plug-in that'll work in any DAW. It's a VST plug-in, totally standard. But it ships with this really cool little hardware controller that looks and feels exactly like the front of the original rack unit. So you've got readouts here for your delay time, your feedback, presets, all that good stuff. And this synchronizes perfectly with the plugin and lets you control the plugin in physical space, which can really help when it comes to inspiration and creativity. It sounds amazing more than anything else, but I just love this little hardware device. I just set it right on my desk here, and anytime I need a good delay, I reach for it and I have real-world control over a plugin. So you get the beauty of recall, where any session you pull back up, all your settings have been saved just like any other plugin, but you get to actually interact with the physical device, which is really, really cool and really fun. So let's go ahead and come over here and take a listen to how it sounds. Okay guys, so here you can see we've got the 2290DT hooked up and ready to go. You can also see on screen here that we have our plugin pulled up, so you can see that the options that you edit in the plugin are a little bit different than the physical controller. They are not a reflection of one another, they actually work kind of in concert together, so you can edit certain things in the plugin and then also edit certain things only on the physical unit. Some users, other users who are reviewing this, don't like this feature as much. They think it should all be reflected perfectly in the plugin. I actually kind of like it because it forces you to get creative and get to know your hardware. So I kind of like that feature. It forces you to get to know your gear a little bit better. But the first preset that I'm going to show you guys is this ducking delay that I was talking about, where the delay reacts to the dynamics of the guitar playing. So we've got this cool guitar loop set up here. So you can already see on the unit you have these amazing little meters that show you when you're peaking, show you where your input and output levels for the effect are. That's great. But this ducking delay, this is dry right now. But listen when we bring in the ducking delay. So you hear when he holds that big long note, or that big long chord rather, the delay goes away because there's constant sound from the guitar, but then in the gaps in between, you hear the delay rush in to fill the space. Very, very, very useful effect. Now, I just want to go through a couple of other presets that are available here. There's a nice kind of slapback delay, another slap. Really great 80s kind of super flanger sound. nice chorus. Because it can do panning and all this different stuff within it, you can get some really amazing chorus effects, other modulation effects, flanging, tremolo, all kinds of fun stuff. There's a heavily chorus guitar. And you can edit your presets. You can select your presets from right here on the unit. You also have a bypass. You have special controls, which are a little bit more advanced, but those allow you to edit the parameters a little bit more deeply. You can also, of course, adjust your feedback all the way down to 0, where it's only playing 1 echo. So you're just hearing that 1 echo. You can also use your keyboard. Once you've selected, see this feedback light is blinking, you can just quickly enter 50, right? Or 99. And get an endless delay going on. Set that back to something a little bit more normal. Now up here you have all kinds of control over the speed, depth of your panning effects, of the dynamic effects. This is where you set up your ducking delay. You can set it to be triggered in a sine wave pattern randomly. So like if you wanted it to pan randomly back and forth, you could set that up. It's really just incredible how many options they give you in this thing. Not to mention, it sounds wonderful. Then of course, lastly over here, you have your delay time, which can either be entered in milliseconds. We do have a tap tempo as well, or you can sync it to your session tempo. Now, just to give you an example of one of the things you control on screen, if we move back to the screen here, you can see DAW sync is one of the categories right here. We have input level, which just controls volume, your delay mix, all this kind of stuff, output levels. But then you have here DAW sync. So right now, you can see, as we click through, it's reflecting 16th notes, 8th notes, quarter notes, half notes, etc. But we can also change our mode from straight to dotted, kind of play around with things that way, or even triplet. Okay, so again, very, very powerful options in this delay. Okay guys, so there's the TC2290 DT. I love this unit. It sounds great, it looks really cool, it feels really authentic, just like the original hardware did. So if you're a sucker for kind of the analog feel like I am, if you like that in your workflow, this is a perfect unit for you. TC, I know, does have a reverb, actually a couple of different reverbs, as well as a spatial expander in this same form factor. They're calling it the Icon series. Those are on the way, and I fully plan to buy all 3 of them when they start shipping in a couple of months here. But yeah, I love it. There are some users who aren't a fan of the fact that editing parameters in the plugin is different than what you get on the face of the unit. I really like that. I think it forces a little bit more creativity. It forces you to get to know an actual piece of gear and feel like you're using something a whole lot more real than just a plugin. So what do you guys think of the TC2290 DT? Let us know in the comments below the video. We would love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. Again, thank you guys so much for checking it out and watching. We will see you in the next video.